Alright, probably going to be a long response video to Hero. And it's irritating because this is a waste of time. This is just a colossal waste of time. I mean, literally, hundreds of videos. He ignores all the arguments made in them and just keeps spouting this fucking dogma, this religion, this Scientology. And that's what it is. It's Scientology. He hasn't talked about the volcanoes, but they're all volcanoes on Hawaii. So, maybe he's just holding back and not giving us his full wacky, gas theory. But this will stuff. So first, okay, he conceded he got rid of the free part. Because the free part is stupid. It's a stupid word. It's a word children should play with, not adults. And now it's all about this power of his will. His will. His personally owned, personally collected will. He built it himself, out of a Rector set or something. Yeah, I mean, you're just... Anyway, let's play this crap. It is crap. Big, giant, fucking pile of crap. Well, I'll reload the video since it's not playing. Do.
Okay, first of all, conference report on it being incoherent to invoke power. You say it should be more like information theory. Well, I mean, I'm kind of familiar with that, and I believe that information processing takes energy and power. So I think it's automatic.
Yeah. So anything that takes power, we're going to talk about it having a will, or is that it? How it's going to work now? I mean, this is just such a, again, you're just, why speak English? Why not just take up a different language, get on YouTube, talk in some kind of gibberish none of us can understand, because what you're doing is essentially the same thing. You keep redefining every word, every concept in regular common vocabulary and turning it into this babble. I don't mean willpower in that you control it with your power. I just mean that it's made out of power. Duh. Physics is all power. Every bit of matter is made out of power. That's Einstein, fucker.
We're okay to talk about the power. It can't be made insignificant. There might be other metaphors, other things to look at. But definitely, like complexity theory is going to tell you how much energy it takes to solve a particular computing problem.
Complexity theory is going to tell you how much energy it's going to take. I mean, this is just stupid. All right, if you're going to just, this is just blowing up. You're going to talk about intellectual concepts based on, well, why don't we go through history and see how many, fuck. Hello? Credit card. You listen to this shit. Yeah, I'm not going to press any of this shit. You motherfuckers are breaking the fucking law. Do you know that, you fuckers? You should be in fucking goddamn jail and jail. You're a fucking skanky, weaselly fucking cunt. They should drive a Volkswagen through it, you stupid fucking bitch. We should record that. Stupid fuckers. I hate cheaters. They're fucking cheaters. They can't fight fair, so they gotta cheat. Everybody isn't allowed. If everybody did this, our phones would be useless. These little fuckers want to cheat. And they're liars. They're just overt liars. Really pisses me off. Alright, but this pisses me off almost as much. This is a cheat, too. This is a cheat of fucking vocabulary and logic. I mean, we don't sit around and sit there and say, okay, well, this is how many man-hours of thought I'm going to have to give this mathematical problem. Nobody does that. Nobody gives a rat's ass.
Power is going to be a part of an information processing system. I also will just say, off the top, I think hope is for the weak. I
just love that crap. I just love that crap. And now he's going to admit that he has his own definition of the word hope now, too. But hope is for the weak. He's passing judgment You know, I mean, just amazing. Amazing. Just fucking amazing. Yeah, well, I don't want to get personal with you, Piero, but you got no business calling anybody else weak. Fucker.
Believe that when you just go with the flow, you're really just going with unconscious will. Okay, now, one thing you said is I'm assuming, I'm forgetting thoughts are part of the universe, but please notice that Greytex was criticizing me for saying that they are.
Alright, well, let's point out that Greytex does defend himself here by saying, I didn't criticize you for saying that thoughts are part of the universe. There is no way in which you could define that from what I said. Yeah, derive that from what I said. Yeah, there is no way. This is bullshit. This isn't speaking fair English. This is perversion. This is ignore everybody else's argument. Just keep talking your fucking religion, your fucking wacky religion that you somehow made you, that you are you, that you have fucking X-Man powers. You're fucking psychobabble man. All right, and you can confuse and fuck up anybody within 10 feet of you. You can do your little psychobabble and they go into a holy fucking shit. Why am I on this planet with fucking lunatics trance? Yeah. So that's right, you can defeat everybody by just talking some fucking complete drivel. They say, what the fuck is the point on being on this goddamn planet if fucking people who went to college are going to talk like this?
Part of the universe, that consciousness, that, and I think it is reactive, and I'm saying it emerges either...
Oh, yeah, I think it is reactive. So he's subtly conceding the entire argument by pointing out that, yes, okay, it's cause and effect. Okay, it is. But I don't want to call it that, because that doesn't glorify Piero. I mean, how can I have a whole volcano theory, and how can I, assume I have special powers and, super spidery, super senses if, I concede cause and effect, because, I'm not going to be able to make all that crap out of cause and effect.
Like magnetism or like fire, but it does emerge, and it's latent in the universe itself. In some sense.
Well, that part is, such a bold statement from a skinny, four-eyed, smoking, drinking man. I mean, come on, you got to do a little better than that. It's latent in the universe. Why? Because I said so. Yeah, the volcano told me.
So I think they are part of the universe, and I believe that we are the result of thinking.
Whatever. Yeah, thoughts are part of the universe. No, will isn't part of the universe. The only thing that might be part of the universe is some idea of this sparky consciousness crap. Or maybe, in my opinion, what might really just be the kernel is the sparky part. And the sparky part is the nature of the unpleasant sensation. It is the first cause of disquiet, of discomfort, of disness. And our brain might put big piles of disness together inside our little fucky brains.
Doing the thinking at the same time, and I don't think there's a problem with that, because that's how systems work.
That's right, we're a system, garbage in, garbage out, no superpowers, no spidey senses, no power will, none of this fucking bullshit, just fucking themes, conceptions, understandings of how it works. Some people can take apart a car and put it back together again. Why? Because they learned how to do it. Some people can motivate themselves. Why? Because they learned how to do it. It's not some special feature.
There is a circularity in the synthetic reality of life, in systems, and the way systems can cycle. They can have cycles that, are circular in a sense, and logically we become sensitive to those, but in synthetic truths it is possible to have a system. For example, have a system that perceives itself, that perceives its own.
Well, duh. I mean, this feedback part has already been part of the conversation for a long time. So you're just using, circular mush. You're just validating. So you're saying, we somehow don't have an answer to this. So, you're just pretending. You're just creating your little straw circle so you can validate something. Your straw unresolved equation, 2 + 2. And, boy, it's such a I got it. I can do it. Yeah, so can everybody. Durr.
organs of perception. These kinds of circularity are just simply possible because you can have a relationship with yourself.
Oh, a relationship. So let's use a word that's really dangerous again. We know that relationship is, this is here and that is over there. Come on. Relationship with yourself implies just all this again, this mush, this jib, this jabber, this fucking gobbledygook. That's what that is. Gobbledygook, Pyro. Alright? You're supposed to be some guy who gives a fuck about science and being rational, and you just keep shoveling little piles of gobbledygook into the fucking machinery. And you know it can't do it any goddamn good whatsoever. You're fucking menace to fucking intelligence.
Over time. Now, you say there is no evidence for the indeterminism that I talk about or require or whatever.
Yes, there's no evidence of your magical, uncaused effect. That's right. You can't come up with an effect that doesn't have a cause. It's not there. It's nowhere. It doesn't exist. All right? It doesn't. There's no, Mary got on the grilled cheese sandwich, okay? God didn't put her there. All right? It's a pattern of the structure of the bread before it went into the oven, or somebody pushed their hand on it, or somebody pushed a fucking image of Mary on it.
That's just a bold statement by you. I don't know why you think you can say that because for hundreds of years we thought that?
No, we thought that. It doesn't even matter for how many hundred... No, Einstein thought that. Einstein said that. All right? Undo Einstein, fucker.
Only thing that ever implied and did not prove, never demonstrated.
Well, it's demonstrated with every single experiment a human conducts in their own life. Everywhere else, there's no miracles. They can't run time backwards. They can't magically stop something from happening. They can't magically make things happen. There's just none of it anywhere. Every single thing, you got to put the ingredients in to have they bake correctly. If you put poison in the food, the poison's going to stay in the food. It doesn't just disappear. Nothing goes away. Nothing. It's all cause and fucking effect. Every single experiment. And there's zillions of them going on right in my own front yard here. And those experiments are reliable. There's zillions of them going on these computers every fucking day. No magic. No blue screen of death without a friggin' cause, Pierrot. We know what the cause is, okay? It's not some galactic boogeyman who blue screens your fucking computer. We know it's a flaw in the software and a flaw in the chipset and a flaw in the fact that the standards aren't compliant. All right, it's not that complicated. We can find the causes, and in every case, we find the causes. All right, no magic. Sorry.
The potential for determinism was classical mechanics, Newtonian mechanics.
Yeah, he keeps saying this. He keeps trying to go back to Newton. No, the mechanics you're trying to dispute are Einstein mechanics. Einstein. I'm going to keep... You motherfucker. You keep going back to Newton, and that shows what a weasel you are. Because you know that this is... We're talking about... You're trying to break Einstein mechanics. So pick on the right target, okay? Don't go back 200 years. Go back to fucking Einstein, all right? And challenge Einstein, shithead.
Which we know don't apply to the universe. We now understand that.
Blah, blah, blah. No, we don't understand any such thing, okay? Again, because we don't have clear pictures of the end of the universe, of things 15 billion years away, okay? We don't have clear pictures that will never have clear pictures, clickety click, that ain't going to happen, of subatomic particles. And again, you're just playing this game because we don't see it. You're saying, I can make it up. I can make it into anything, and I'm going to turn it into a Harry Potter talking hat, okay? Instead of something rational, instead of something consistent with everything else in the known universe, you're going to turn into something consistent with the unknown, with the Alice in Wonderland upside down world. You're going to start playing cards, running around, chasing rabbits and shit. That's what you're going to turn it into. And it's overt, it's deliberate, it is willful. All right, there's some jackass program running in your head that says you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, because you don't want to live in reality. And it's that fucking simple. You're doing this for yourself. You're not doing this for science. You're not doing this for the elevation of the common man's understanding of the science. You're a fucking distorter and perverter, a propagandist, and you're doing it to satisfy your own stupid, idiotic agenda where you're afraid to live in reality.
There is no evidence of determinism. There is no evidence of determinism. You're telling me...
Yes, there is, all right? And the physicists at Stanford will tell you there is. All right, because what they're going to tell you is they might not know how the photon got to the target, but it always gets to the target. All right, and only gets to the target through Einstein's rules. It doesn't get there some other fucking way. And they're saying that they can take you backwards and show you an Einstein path that gets the fucking thing to the target. All they can't do is predict from the beginning where it's going to hit. All right, and we know why they can't do that prediction. It's because we can't know the position and direction of that friggin' particle.
That I need evidence for indeterminism, but modern physics goes with indeterminism and
No, I'm sorry. Modern physics doesn't do that. Loopity-loop, whatever the fuck you are, you 6-year-old physicists who want physics to be the Flintstones, or want physics to be, whatever, the Betty White show or something. You're so full of shit. You're just making this crap up and then calling it science. Well, it's not science yet. You got to prove it before you can fucking say it.
Logical argument that there must be determinism has never, ever, ever had empirical foundation.
Well, I'm sorry. It has it all over the place. We can do tons of experiments. The same result always happens. We can see if an uncommon result happens, it's because of some built-in structural breaking of the system. But if you make the system will do its thing over and 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 over the same way all the time, every time, unless you manufacture an error in the system.
The thing that gave it the appearance of that was
2 plus 2 always equals 4. I throw 2 marbles into a box, and I throw 2 marbles into the box. There'll always be 4 marbles. It's an experiment. You can do it for a gazillion years, and there's always going to be the same fucking result.
The inaccuracy and ignoring enigmas of chemistry that allowed us to use Newtonian mechanics for a long time.
Again, Newtonian mechanics. You keep talking as if Newton had some realistic, like he was really trying to describe how molecules and atoms, elements and atoms and compounds are formed. No, he was talking about how friggin' planets fly, shithead. All right? I mean, give the man his due credit for his time and the equipment he was using. I mean, get fucking real. So your argument is with Einstein. So label the guy you're really trying to slander here, who is fucking Einstein.
Seriously. Where do you get evidence of determinism? You can't determine things in your life.
Well, this is just stupid. So now somebody overtly, Fred in his video, overtly said, I'm not talking about predictability. I don't have an enough understanding of the system. He's talking about its potential to be modeled, not the fact that he possesses a model. We now possess models, computer models of hurricanes that are fairly accurate. I mean, the one that came crashing through here, they knew 3 days ahead that, it's pretty likely it's going to crash right into your house, Gary. I kept saying, well, I kept hoping for the error to be there to save the day, but the error didn't save the day. So this is just bullshit. We can model all this shit can be modeled, and with every passing day, Google every day that passes, Google starts profiling us into categories and we're in a category right now in Google's little software, what we will buy, what we won't buy, what we tend to do, what we tend not to do. And as time passes, those models are going to get more and more predictable, and all they're going to need to do is sniff out 100 little variables about who you are, all right? And they'll put those 100 little variables together, and they'll come up with a composite of what, if we ask him this question, what kind of answer will we get? Or if we throw this marble in front of him, what will he do? And they're going to have predictions, Pierrot. We're going to be incredibly predictable.
Okay, scientists don't determine things exactly. Nothing has ever been determined.
Well, again, this is just stupid. We know, we got 100% chance. Certain things are going to happen. you know, you got a bull in a pen, and he's got a big boner, and you drive out the old fuckable machine. He's going to fuck it. I mean, this is just bullshit to say that we can't. Everything is so unpredictable. We don't even know when we don't even know when volcanoes will erupt. Well, I guess we fucking do. I mean, Old Faithful has been Old Faithfuling for whatever, 1,500 years. On the hour, the same bubbles of gas come shooting up and it squirts out the frickin' water the same way over and over and over again. That's right, because it's cause and effect world.
Mechanics relies on an indeterminacy, and you're there going, oh, no, it must still be determined.
No, quantum mechanics doesn't rely on an indeterminacy. You're playing with words here again. Okay, it fucking functions to take care of an unknowable C. Okay, it's an unknowable C from our current technical point of view. We can't see photons. We know this. We can't see electrons without disturbing them, without interfering with them. That's a fact. That's the fact the math allows us to work around. That's all it is. It's a workaround for something we can't see at this time and at this place. If we could fire photons or electrons reliably out of a gun, okay, at a deliberate, precise laser beam trajectory, then all of a sudden all this bullshit would be called what it is. Bullshit.
How? Because of logical must-be's? That's not evidence. Because I don't believe those arguments. Those arguments have flaws. Tell me.
Yeah, well, that's just cute. The arguments don't have any flaws. There's no circumstance that we can describe as deterministic where you can say, no, it's not deterministic. This is just bullshit. You can't come up with a single example of something that's undeterminable in the strictest sense of that word, wherein it is doing something outside the bounds of cause and effect. Known causes and known effects. Knowable causes and knowable effects.
I mean, a situation, you want to say there's no evidence for indeterminacy. You're talking about empirical evidence, not arguments. There's no argument for indeterminacy. Now, that might be true. There's just evidence for that.
Whatever. There's no evidence for indeterminacy. I'm sorry. It's just not there, Piero, because we have the counter-argument that's just right there in your face. Okay? And that is the door is closed from where it comes out. We can't see how it got painted blue. But we know it didn't get painted blue by magic elves or Betty Crocker or whoever you want to make up. Mr. Shitman.
Indeterminacy. A thing about continuity in dreams I find interesting is I think if you went to sleep every night and woke up in a dream world, as if you had been sleeping and were just waking up there, you wouldn't know which was which.
Well, that is, I think, ludicrous. Because I often just recognize right in the middle of a dream, I'm just saying, this must be a dream because everything's really thin and fucked up. It's nowhere close to reality. I can't access more than 10 feet away from me. Have you ever noticed in dreams there's usually no horizons? I mean, very rarely do you have a dream where you're like on an ocean liner and you can see the horizon or something. Very rarely do you have those kind of perspective dreams. They usually trap you in a little cage. And that's one of the giveaways often of a dream is that your arena is much smaller than in real life.
Now, the accountability and gratitude, well, I have that.
Well, that's a personal thing anyway. Accountability and gratitude, these is more scientific talk. It's just accountability for what and gratitude for what?
The point of my fallback is compatibilism. Even if it were proven to me that there was a determinacy, then I would figure, well, okay, I still have this weird reason. Why would I, as a flowing river that is totally determined, however free it looks, why would I want...
It doesn't even look free from a scientific point of view. That's the point. you keep insisting on looking at it as if it is not something we can render, as if it isn't something we could make in a holodeck or something else. It's a simple principle, okay? It's water going through a trough, and you want to make it into something more than that. You want, and like I said, we understand the dynamics. It's not a mystery. There's no mystery to it. It's just a lot of it. You know, what, a quadrillion frickin' water molecules, and they're all got their own trajectory, and we're going to sit there and say, well, you know, just because it's massive, we don't understand it? No, we do understand it.
Why would I develop this illusion, and what is it that has the illusion? Still be an interesting question to me.
Yeah, well, it has nothing to do with your power of your will conversation, though. I mean, it really doesn't. Your willpower conversation in your head is being orchestrated by your ego, by a little stupid program running inside of you that's demanding that it be important, okay, that it be really, really, really important.
And I would be a compatibilist, and I would have gratitude, because it seems more interesting than...
So what is standard? It seems more interesting. I mean, let's put that on in the scientific computer log and see what pops out. It seems more interesting. Yeah, well, it seems you couldn't get less explicit. It seems you couldn't say anything more gobbledygooky without actually saying gobbledygook. I mean, you know, next to gobbledygook in the dictionary probably is sentences just like the one you just uttered. I mean, they're probably the closest to the top of the list of the gobbledygook.
We being, you know, the determined phenomena. But, to be honest, it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, and well, to be honest, you haven't explained exactly what's not sensible about the fact that it's a cause and effect universe. That's right. How exactly, what skills do you have, Pierrot, that you didn't acquire, that you can't look at and say, I know where I got that from? What awarenesses do you have that you think are just totally out of place? There's no way that could have gotten to my brain. I couldn't have figured that out. I couldn't have logically deduced it because I never went to school and I never went to college and I never watched a movie and I never had any influences and I never had any concept of any of this stuff. I mean, what? You can't look at your fucking history and see your construction through those experiences? You really can't do that? Honestly, you're going to tell me you can't see your construction in those past experiences?
I would like when you use homeless examples to talk about involuntarily homeless. Right? And then again...
yeah, well, there's like I said, these are concepts that have to run inside of people, okay? Then some of them have to be motivational. Some of them have to be actual understanding how systems work so you can take advantage, or so you can function within the system. You have to know how to swipe the credit card, to use the credit card kind of thing. You know, the simple mechanics of life. And so you can have failure on any one of those things. You can have no mission statement, just no give a damn. And then you can have an incapacity to sit there and not resist the urge to shit in people's faces, which isn't going to get you too far in life, or some other thing. And so there's all these things, and that's why people are the way they are. And the only way they could fix any of that is they'd have to have a program that said, we want to fix it, and they'd have to have a little bit of psychobabble going on there saying, we can change all of these little assholes, and we can whip them into shape, into a good little army that'll go out there into the world and be a good little citizen. Yeah, that's what they need. That's the difference between somebody who's homeless and somebody who's not homeless.
And, I mean, this issue is really a lot about hope. I have a theory about hope. It's a little bit harsh, but I think hope is for the weak. I don't think hope is...
Yeah, whatever. You said that already. I just think this is just bullshit. Like I said, you want to sit there and throw a word out there and say people can't use that word because you're going to malign the word. You know, when you're talking all this sensitivity crap and all this girly bullshit that you talk, I mean, fuck you. You're the weak one. You can't get through life without some ego gratification. You can't get through life without some ego knowledge that somehow you made you, and you are in control, and you will seize the day. I mean, you can't get through the day without that fucking macho crap. And you're going to talk about somebody else's weakness? Fuck you. I think hope is crap, but I'm just saying. You know, you don't call people who hope weak. What, weak? Because they aspire. They, you know, I mean, and hope is just kind of so hope can be so simple. I just hope my fucking cat doesn't get run the fuck over. I mean, you didn't have that hope somewhere in the back of your mind? You didn't kind of hope that when you got a cat, you weren't going to get it squashed in the fucking road?
Particularly good thing. People have, I mean, I think the emotions people have that they call hope, it's kind of important. The term is hard to, I don't want to attack the term for that reason.
Well, you already did it. You already fucking maligned it. You already shat right on their fucking heads. So all this qualification is kind of useless. Why didn't you just keep that crap out of the conversation? Why didn't you just keep your little hope is for the weak crap? Why didn't you just say, you know what, that's a stupid fucking thing to say. It's just stupid. First off, this hope concept doesn't have much of a definition. And in the second place, if somebody's relying on it, they're relying on it because their fucking brain can't do it any other way anyway. So this weakness-strength thing is just fucking bullshit anyway. Who the fuck are you to call somebody else weak, you shithead? I mean, it's just amazing.
A lot of people are relying on hope. I have relied on emotions and situations that could be called hopeful.
Oh yeah, so then look again. So this is just such a waste of time. So you do now again. Once again, you've self-fulfilled the purpose of your own jabber. Is that you create the confusion and then you somehow try to fix the confusion. Well, quit creating the confusion, and then there won't be any need for the rest of your fucking video.
I've been terminally optimistic in professional projects. Been known as terminally optimistic optimism.
Yeah, so that's not for the weak, right? So some asshole who thinks I can do it all the time and to takes on, that's exactly what the Scientologists do, right? They all, Tom Cruise thinks he's a doctor. He thinks if if he's driving down the road behind you and you have a car accident, he's going to save your life. Okay, because he knows he can do it. He knows he can siphon the superpowers. And at the right time, he'll be the can-do guy. I mean, he's Mission Impossible man, right? He can do the impossible. He really can. He really believes he can do it.
Right to the end. That could be called hope, but I don't think of it as hope.
Yeah, I think of it as reckless motherfucking assholes. I'm so sick of people who think they can do things they can't fucking do. They think they can drive in the snow, but they fucking can't. They think, oh, I can handle having 4 kids, no problem. And they have them, and it's a big fucking problem. Nest? Who needs a nest? We don't need no stinking nests. We'll just lay our eggs on a pile of shit and let the little maggot eat that.
Because hope is this kind of thing we're talking about now, where you just have to, wish that the river flows a particular place. And the river
I'm just going to be optimistic. I'm just going to say the river's going to fucking flow whether it likes it or not. I don't care what it's flowing into. I don't care what the fuck I erode the fuck out of. I don't care what the fuck my river knocks the fuck down, because my river's going to go, 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 go. That's all. You're just pep talking your way through life because you don't want to be bothered analyzing the circumstance and being and having that part of the brain that's going to restrain you, inhibit you a little. You don't want to be inhibited. So you're going to take whatever psychological drug or whatever physical drug there is to knock that inhibition out of your way, because you can't get what you want if you have to do it cautiously and carefully, realistically.
There's many places. There's many different paths on it. And it's just funny to me, because to me, my philosophy of art has to do with...
My philosophy of art. Please. Again, just more, let's create another mess. Let's somehow cram art into a discussion of physics. Oh, that makes fucking sense. Yeah, make another mess that you're going to... Oh, yeah, we need Piro to get us out of this mess that Piro made. We need Piro to clean up the Piro shit.
Individualistic making particular things. And you can, meditate to get that out of yourself, but it's not like it's willless or nature doing it, in my view. It's,
Yeah, it's like, that practice thing. Oh, yeah, that kind of helps. Having an understanding, perspective, contextual understanding that makes you able to manipulate it because you understand basically how the thing functions, the art functions. You gain a knowledge like a Mozart or something through your maturation of notes and how they're used, and that sort of gives you the ability to manipulate them in a coherent manner. Oh, duh.
It's still you, and these are techniques.
It's still you. Well, that doesn't really mean anything either. Is that a scientific kind of thing? It's still you. The point is the you did not arise out of you-ness. All right? It arrived out of a history of your maturation. You were caused. You are an effect. You are not something else.
The paddle in the water. So, I would like an answer on certain points of this, specifically about,
Yeah, stuff that everybody's already answered, I'm sure. I'm sure any answer he's demanding has probably been given over and over and over and over, because he just keeps ignoring everybody else's videos, ignoring what they say explicitly, and just keeps talking this fucking religion.
Why do you feel so bold that there's evidence for determinism? Where? Your life isn't that way.
Again, he's smart enough to understand that he can't track 100 billion neurons. That he's not going to know exactly the nuance of every thought in his head, and that he's not going to even have, that he has no access to much of it because the processing is taking place beyond his view. He knows the same thing is true of a software program or something else. He doesn't know how the program was programmed. He can't just look at the result and say, I understand the program completely. He'd have to play with it an awful lot before he could know all of that. So this is just bullshit.
If you think science is that way, it's not how, and the science...
Well, if you think Einstein was right, he's not. That's what you just said. Now prove it, fucker. You prove that. You prove that. I mean, if you're going to challenge Einstein, then then man up and do it. Do it with something. And the only something you got is your silly two-slit experiment and your fucking upside-down, right-side-up atomic blibble-blabble. And all of that shit can be dealt with in cause and effect explanations. You just keep wanting to shove the Wicked Witch into the story and the enchanted toad, and that's just bullshit. There's no need for any enchanted toads or any wicked witches or any of your little fairy tale that gives us all so much more cat in the hat kind of fun.
That does say that has been overturned by the very scientists that were advocating it.
Bullshit. Just outrageous bullshit. That was just outrageous bullshit. Einstein didn't overturn Einstein.
They learned this new... So where is this evidence? What in this chaotic world where people don't know that...
Again, the chaos is only because of the massiveness of the world, okay? Billions of electrons, billions and billions and billions, and every little bit of this shit, all right? But we know what this is, all right? And so some of the complexity is in structures that are dependable and reliable. Some of them are in structures that we don't understand enough about, the causes and the effects. But they are causes and they are effects. There is nothing else. There are causes and there are fucking effects, Piro. There is nothing else.
Ass from a hole in the ground, and you're telling me that I have to prove this indeterminacy? I don't think so.
I think you do, because it's a God statement. That's what it is. You're saying there's some uncaused effect, so show it to me. Show me the uncaused effect.
It's just because the history of what philosophers have claimed for so long, but I'm sorry, it doesn't matter how long you claim something. You need to come up with some evidence.
Oh, well, the evidence, again, there's just no point, right? Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos talking about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of circumstances, from computers to orange trees that produce oranges to everything that does what it does, and it does it over and over and over within these confines. I can throw dice forever. They're going to come up with 1 to 12, 1 to 12, 1 to 12. I mean, this is the way it works, Piro, that the little bits on the dice don't move somewhere, they don't go somewhere because they can't go anywhere because it's a deterministic, flat out, that's the way it is universe.
There's all kinds of evidence that things can't be determined.
No, there's all kinds of evidence that we don't have the biggest, magnifying glass yet, and we don't have the biggest telescope yet. That we don't see everything we need to see all the relationships that exist that dictate the cause and effect chain. Yes, we don't have every link tied down, but we do have some of the links tied down, right? We've done the human genome thing. We know there's no magic genes in there. There's no sparkly bibbly babbly boo in there. Okay, that's our evolution. We got each one of those fucking genes through a process. We understand that. It didn't just materialize out of nowhere. There wasn't some little spark of magic toad piss that fell on the DNA and all of a sudden the DNA did something special and sparkly and it got all shiny and glowy. No, none of that shit happened, Piro. There's no fables or fairy tales here, and especially none that turn you into a X-Man. You're not a fucking X-Man, Piro. You're not Superman. You're not Spidey-Man. You're not none of this fucking bullshit. You're just a common, regular, average turd created by the stupid common American society. Blah, blah, blah.
Every time people try to determine them and get it wrong. Every time. And in science, where they do pretty well, it's plus or minus a percent. It's plus or minus. They do that right off.
Yeah, that's right. The entire idea for quantum mechanics is error code. That's right. They're anticipating the error. They have a margin of error built into the math because they can't be explicit, because they don't have sufficient information. It's not that the information doesn't exist. They can't access it yet. Period. Not more complicated than that.
They don't even try to get it right, determined exactly, just within a range of error. So, yeah, I would like you to,
You would like people to make redundant videos to satisfy one turd on the internet, all right, who claims to be a guy who's a realist and a guy who pays attention to science and gives a fuck about the scientific method, when in fact he's just a religious nut, and he's going to drag us back again to a fucking conversation about his non-existent God and how we somehow have to prove the non-existence of his fucking fable, his fairy tale, his story, his made-up crock of shit.
You would just take it as an assumption because everybody knows. But everybody is known about God and everything else seriously. How can you say there's evidence of determinacy? Evidence, not an argument.
Well, the two things are the same, shithead. Evidence is part of a rational, reasonable argument that ties things to other things that are reliable. So once you can say that A is to B as C is to D kind of thing, you're done, okay? You can do that all over the fucking place on this determinism subject. And it's been done for you. It's been explained to you that our brain is, even if someone conceded your quantum irregularities, those irregularities are confined to 276 variables or so, 276 small degrees of perversion. So you'd only have a click or change in 1,678,974 atoms that would actually be changed in some kind of meaningful way by any kind of quantum effect. And that those effects on that scale couldn't affect my computer, they can't affect a space shuttle, they can't affect anything, and they certainly can't affect the neurology, the big neurology in our brain. Even though it's small, it's big. Cells are big. Synapses are big by these scales, and it's not going to change those synapses any, it's not going to change the neurology any, and it's not going to do anything in any kind of constructive way. Even if it could affect it, it couldn't affect it in any power will kind of way because it couldn't know what neuron to affect, you stupid fuck.
In argument, I will identify that as different from evidence. Okay, cheers.
Yeah, cheers, smears, fucking beers. I mean, this is just such bullshit. You're just Alicing in Wonderlanding something that is really, really pretty solid. And for no good reason. Just to be a fucking pain in the ass. Just to be Piero the... I'm going to be unusual and strange. This is my agenda. I'm going to be unusual and strange, and I'm going to say fucked up things, but I really don't give a shit about order or trying to in any way elevate the human conversation into any kind of direction or purposefulness, because I'm just an unproductive stream of piss. You're a stream of fucking piss, okay, eroding the foundation that people are trying to build to try to get fucking the humankind out of the dungeon. We're trying to build a mound of reason to get humanity out of the shithole. And assholes like you have nothing to contribute but to piss on the fucking mound. To knock it down with your fucking erosive, corrosive nonsense. Stop doing this shit. And if you're going to do it, at least have the balls to take on the guy you're fucking saying was full of shit. So use his fucking name next time. Quit resorting to Newton and say Einstein. Say Einstein was wrong. Say it, fucker.